So hi and welcome to the channel. Today we'll be unboxing this Meshroom Extender Bracket. So I want this to be used on my Meshroom D. This is my Meshroom D. Based on this diagram, it will be like this. And this front panel will become a switch, which is interesting. Anyway, let's open it. On opening, you only see the extender bracket itself. So it has the USB ports and the switch. So this will make it MATX compatible apparently. So let's try. But I really don't know how to attach this. See what's included here. So there is I guess it's for this one, some screws and standoffs. So just looking at this bottom panel, and it is secured by a few screws. It seems that I have to remove this one as well and then swap it with this one. Maybe I'll try to remove the 4 screws here. I think I can remove this as well. Right here. Still held tightly. So it's probably from the front. There are 4 screws in the front as well. And at the back, there are screws as well at the back. So I need to remove that because it's still held tightly. Not sure if I need to remove this as well.
Anyway, I proceed removing 4 screws from the front of the case, remove 3 screws from the back of the case, and then remove the 2 screws from the motherboard tray side. In total, you have to remove 17 screws just to remove the bottom panel. And then I proceed to put the case on the extender bracket, which was wrong. I should have removed the front panel IOs from the original fit, and then install it to the extender bracket as it came with blank IOs to fill in. Also, you can't simply transpose the whole front panel IO since the spacing between the IOs in the extender bracket is tighter. Given that, I had to unscrew each IO from the original plate and then screw the IOs to the extender bracket split. Anyway, I removed the extender bracket again to install these front panel IOs.
So we can pop this off apparently. Touch this thing. You should have the right screw holes. Just screw it here and here as well. So now you have 4 USB 3 audio jacks and USB-C. Now you have reset button as well. Just snap it. Yeah, looks ready again. You could also pop off the standoffs now. This is where the feet will be installed. You can safely put this here so that it will not be lost.
After that, it's time to install the extender bracket to the case. Make sure that they are all aligned.
It's time to screw back again.
Install the feet to the extender bracket as well. Insert back the dust filter. Lastly, and might be optional but recommended, remove the old power switch button to reduce clutter to the case. For testing the Meshroom extender bracket, I swapped the two 80mm side fans with two 140mm bottom intake fans. I tested 6 configs, all with the 140mm bottom fans as intake. 2 of those are from the previous Meshroom D test. First is the second best overall for CPU and GPU cooling. Next is the best config for GPU temps. I also added a new setup where the rear fan is intake and the front is exhaust, a reverse of the first 2 configs. I also added 3 air cooling configurations. With all these, I could have added 2 more 80mm fans, but I ran out of fan headers. I also skipped using a hub since it adds cable clutter to the case and it also needs SATA power. There are other configs probably worth testing, but as usual, I ran out of time. With Cinebench R24 for 30 minutes, the best config was the radiator with rear intake at 81.15 degrees Celsius. Next was the air cooler without side fans at 81.94 degrees Celsius. Air cooler with side fan configs followed at 82.31 degrees Celsius and 82.58 degrees Celsius. Basically negligible differences. Adding the extender to the previous best GPU config gave a 1.4 degrees Celsius improvement. But for the second best config, the extender only shaved off 0.29 degrees Celsius. Again, negligible. For FF15 at 4K for 30 minutes, here's the chart. This combines CPU and GPU temps. And I also added the average of both and sorted them in ascending average order. You'll notice that 6 out of 8 configs fall within just 1 degree Celsius range, between 67 to 89 degrees Celsius and conveniently 68.89 degrees Celsius. So yeah, there's not much of a huge difference overall. This shows that replacing the 80mm side fans with 2 140mm bottom intake fans has minimal impact overall. In some cases, the 140mm fans even disrupt the cooling priority. Anyway, air cooling was interesting here. The rear intake with the side and front as exhaust averaged 2 degrees Celsius cooling cooler than its reversed version. The same config was also 4 degrees Celsius cooler than the one without a side fan. So if I had to flag out configs to avoid, it would be the air cooling with no side fan and air cooling with side and front fan as intake. For context, the other configs use an AIO. These two air cooling setups performs worse compared to the rest. For my personal pick, I'd go with the top config as it leans more toward GPU cooling. Again, there are more configs I could try, but based on data, I don't think averages will move that much. Overall, in my opinion, the extender bracket isn't cheap at about 2,300 pesos, which is roughly $40 US. For just 600 pesos more or around $10 US, you can get the Deepcool CH160, which is already a full-fledged PC case. There's also no real overall performance gain with the extender. Yes, you can add more fans, but likely this is the case's limit already. So basically, you'd buy this if you really like the Meshroom series and want better compatibility. For the Meshroom D, it expands the support from ITX to MATX motherboards. For the Meshroom S, it increases the GPU height clearance if you have an ATX or MATX motherboard paired with an AIO cooler. Or you might want it just for the overall clearance that the extender provides. Aesthetically, it adds some dimension to the case as it's no longer full mesh. Anyway, that's it for this video. Do let me know on what you think of this thing. Thanks for watching. Do like or dislike and subscribe for more unboxing, SFF builds, and benchmarks. Bye!